welcome. Today is a different setting. I am on a plank wall because I am in my dining room. So I've mentioned this before, and I am of Chamorro descent, which comes from the islands of the Northern Marianas, also known as the CNMI. It includes Guam. People know what Guam is, right? May is National Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, so in honor of that, I am going to be making today a little, is it a pastry?
Hey Google, what's the definition of a pastry?
Pastry, a dough of flour, shortening, and water, used as a base and covering in baked dishes such as pies.
It's pastry. So a lot of Chamorro pastries are going to be drier and not as sweet as pastries from different regions. So you're talking about things that have a lot of dry ingredients, not a whole lot of wet ingredients, and they don't have very much sugar. The purpose of this is you can soak it in milk, you can dip it in your coffee, and if you don't grow up with it, you probably don't like it. But I'm still gonna make it anyway, because I have fond attachments to this particular recipe. I think the last time I had it was when I was 12 years old, and my grandma made it. But here we go.
Alright, so this is the start of the voiceover. So basically what happened is I forgot to say the name of the pastry I was making. Oh, hold on.
I like to use white sugar, like when the white man took over my people's island.
Just a joke, everyone. So the actual name of the pastry that I'm making is called Rosku. That's R-O-S-K-U. And it's somewhere in between a cake, a cookie, and a bread. And it's very popular on the islands of Saipan, and my mom and my grandma used to make it all the time. It's going to be a drier pastry for sure. And this is the process of me making it, because if Chamorros like one thing, it's to keep their recipe secret. So Mom, if you're watching this, this is for you, because as I was recording this and before I called you, I was listing all of the ingredients as I was going. So now I'm covering it up. And if you would like the recipe, just DM me, comment on the video. Yeah, subscribe, I don't know.
So now we have to knead the dough, and so I got my floured surface here. I've never done this before, so I'm just spitballing and making it up. So we're just gonna add it over top. Like, I really don't know.
This whole thing was a very wet and messy process, and I don't actually know how much flour I put in there, so I was really just eyeballing it.
Well, while I incorporate this flour, how about we talk about some fun stuff? I've never been to the island. My parents had moved to the islands when they were in their teenage years, just because it was the 1980s. There was not very much opportunity there in the CNMI, so they moved stateside, and that's where I was born. I was born in California, and I have not been back. It cost about $2,000 round trip.
And this is the part where Nicholas had to come in and help me knead the dough. It was just really wet and I was getting really frustrated. And right here I am sweeping up the excess flour because my Chamorro mother taught me to always clean as I go.
Alright, so after much kneading and with the help of Nicholas, we got a giant dough ball. Next, we are going to line a baking sheet with parchment paper and make the iconic swirls. And So basically what I mean by that is
folding paper and talking is hard, apparently.
When you make this pastry, you go ahead and you swirl. You roll out the dough into little skinny snakes, and then you swirl it. And then you put it on the baking sheet and you bake it. So when it puffs up, it's like a swirly, puffy bread pastry thing.
So it was a bit hot in my apartment when I was making this, and it makes the dough almost a little too malleable. Whoa, that's the word. And it'll help a lot to roll these out if your dough is just a little bit chilled.
And through the magic of video editing, you will not watch me roll all of these out because it'll be magically done. And voila, we have a full tray of Rosku pastries. We are now going to bake in the oven at 350 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. And voila, we have a finished tray of Chamorro style Rosku. But they are dry and a little bit flavorless, so if you dip it in coffee or you drizzle some chocolate in it or you can put chocolate chips in it, then that gives it a little more flavor. Personally, I really love these because I grew up with my grandma's making these and I would dip it in my hot chocolate and it was really good. So that's what we got. Happy Pacific Islander Month. If you're a Pacific Islander, go ahead and make something from your island and you can feel closer to your heritage and really proud of yourself. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Press that little bell button. My boyfriend is laughing at me from behind the camera, and I'll see you next time.